All right, I got one more thing that I wanted to go over. That Indiana Jones game. I wanted to watch a little bit of the review.
Has anybody played it yet?
No, but I hear it's really good.
Me too, man. It's kind of surprising me.
Tom, I think you would like this game.
We'll see.
Indiana Jones, Professor Archaeology Department, Marshall College, Bedford, Connecticut.
Yeah? You ain't no nun, sweetheart.
It's been over 30 years since I wore out my VHS copy of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Since then, the film franchise has been in a state of escalation. Where do you go after uncovering the literal Holy Grail? Aliens, then time machines, apparently. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is the perfect antidote to all of this. One that uses its own figurative dial of destiny to propel us back in time to Indy's prime.
I just want to laugh, though, real quick at all of the... There's so many people that are, like, butthurt about this game doing well. Like, I don't understand
really?
why.
Why?
Like, yeah, I don't... Well, some of them are, like, PlayStation fanboys. And it's like, this game's coming to PlayStation, so I don't understand why you're so mad about it. But whatever.
Prime. The result is easily one of the best indie stories across both the games and the movies, with painstakingly detailed environments, wonderfully atmospheric tomb raiding and puzzle solving, a pitch-perfect score, and quite possibly the greatest punch sound effect in the business. While it does stumble occasionally as a still...
Oh, wait, I forgot Tom hates
First
first-person
person, then no, I'm not gonna like it.
I forgot.
Come on, Tom.
focused sneak 'em up, The Great Circle is an otherwise grand and gorgeous globe-trotting adventure that left me giddy as a schoolboy. Yes, it's true that bringing Indiana Jones back to the big screen twice after he literally rode off into the sunset was probably a poor choice. But having Machine Games craft an indie experience inspired by all the best games in that development team's past, Bethesda chose wisely. Machine Games' most immediate legacy is the modern Wolfenstein series, and there's certainly some of that on show in The Great Circle. Like The New Order in its excellent prequel and sequel, The Great Circle is first-person and highly story-driven. And I'd wager if there's anyone who hates Nazis as much as Indy, it's the Gestapo-gutting, SS-slaying B.J. Blazkowicz.
Yeah, that
I
really
will
does.
saw your head off with this here appliance, you hear me?
I like
Oh,
it.
what'd you say?
I like how that looks. It does really look like you're playing like a New Order mod. Like you're playing a Wolfenstein. So no, that looks pretty slick.
The Great Circle is not, however, a bloodthirsty exercise in double-fisted lead-flinging fury. Unlike Wolfenstein, The Great Circle's focus is patient and slower-paced exploration and stealth, where guns are rarely and barely a viable option.
That little guy packed a punch.
That said, with the founding members of Machine Games all hailing from fellow Swedish studio Starbreeze, Machine Games' DNA admittedly runs much deeper than Wolfenstein. For many of the team, it dates back to 2004's outstanding and highly acclaimed The Chronicles of Riddick: Escape.
That is a good game. I don't know if any of you played it.
I never played it.
That's pretty good, actually. Escape from Butcher Bay. That's an old Xbox game. I think that was on Xbox. Chat.
That goes
chat-
back. That's
Yeah.
a callback right there.
Yeah.
From Butcher Bay. Riddick's first-person fisticuffs and adventure elements appear to have been a huge inspiration on The Great Circle, and it's refreshing to be playing a game like Butcher Bay again, particularly when it's done with this much verve and commitment to a storied franchise. For clarity, I doubt anybody would have been shocked to see an Indiana Jones game in 2024 arrive as a clone of the blockbuster Uncharted series. It certainly wouldn't have been unprecedented. After all, both 1999's Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine and 2003's Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb both followed a fairly strict Tomb Raider template. Pivoting to pay tribute to the man who usurped Lara as the premier grave-robbing vagabond of modern video games would hardly have been surprising, particularly as games today have become increasingly homogenized overall.
The game reveals the secret.
Oh, are we playing a game, Jones? I love games.
But The Great Circle isn't an Uncharted clone, and it's all the better for it. It's an Indiana Jones game I didn't even know I wanted. and sometimes that's the best surprise. I like highly cinematic, quality third-person shooters as much as the next man, but not every game needs to be one. And besides, you can do a lot worse than taking notes from Butcher Bay, another licensed tie-in with the extremely rare distinction of being even better than the film upon which it was based.
I'm liking this because we had that RoboCop game earlier this year, which was fantastic.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Yeah, I really liked RoboCop. Tom didn't like it, but I liked it.
Is this Bethesda?
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems like they care more about Indiana Jones.
The LBT.
No, and just to be clear
it.
though, it's just because first person is just not my thing. That's all it is. Like, I'm not saying anything.
Well, Tom, the thing is, if this is Bethesda, most likely it's third and first person.
Yeah, that's kind of
Like,
what upset me.
you could
is,
toggle
like, if you
between the
can't,
two.
like, 'cause
No,
that's what bugged me
it's
about
only first
RoboCop.
person.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
At least as far as what I've seen.
The first-person perspective blesses the Great Circle with a fantastic sense of scale. Looking up in awe of the Great Pyramid, or staring out at a giant Nazi battleship perched atop
That looks cool.
of a mountain in the Himalayas simply has a more pronounced effect at eye level. It also does wonders for immediacy, with puzzle solving in particular benefiting greatly. Picking up and poring over documents and clues, directly manipulating and placing objects, and watching the results unfold in front of your eyes makes it feel like you're personally inside some of the world's most expensive escape rooms. Puzzles come regularly, and they're mostly light lift.
When I'm talking about comparing this to RoboCop, and what I mean by that is like doing justice to the franchise that it's based on.
And almost
just
giving you
looks
a
like it
game that
gets-
you didn't, and almost
Yeah.
giving you a game you didn't think you wanted.
RoboCop feels like a RoboCop movie. This feels like an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
Like I'm surprised it is as good looking as it is, because Bethesda's not been looking very good lately.
But I've encountered at least a couple of slightly curlier ones that left me smugly satisfied that I wasn't stumped. If you do hit a roadblock, there's a baked-in hint system that will only interject if you take an extra photo of the offending puzzle with your in-game camera. It's a smart and courteous way of offering aid only when asked that will keep players off their phones and in the game. On top of this, it's really the best showcase for the incredible amount of granular detail Machine Games has stuffed into seemingly every surface in the Great Circle. From streak marks on freshly wiped glass to the slow trickle of wax from a candle lighting your way down an ancient stairwell, these are things that wouldn't be noticed from any other viewpoint. Are they entirely necessary to make the Great Circle a great game? Maybe not, but they do paint a picture of a project where no as cautious once I realised I could sneak across seemingly dangerously open places as long as I did it fast enough. That said, the Great Circle does allow us to return to previously visited locations to complete all the extra side missions, even after the main adventure is complete. So I may focus on that instead of starting over. I suspect I have many more hours of auxiliary objectives to keep me busy. I only got around to ticking off a handful of them on my first run through the story, which took me about 17 hours. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle nails nearly everything about the best parts of the storied franchise upon which it's based, from the title card and location fonts to Harrison Ford's finger waggle. But its successes go way beyond its faithfulness to the finer points of.
I do like that you're going to Vatican City for part of this to see like Mussolini's and the Italians army, like the Italian army and stuff. Like that's a side you don't see a lot of in World War II stuff. Period.
It's also not just the Nazis, which is nice because yes,
Yeah,
he had to go after a lot of things.
I like that. I appreciate like going somewhere different.
The films. With a host of gorgeous and lavishly detailed levels, satisfying combat hinged on jaw-breaking haymakers, and a focus on slow-paced exploration, platforming, and puzzle solving, interspersed with a handful of high-voltage action scenes, The Great Circle is an irresistible and immersive global treasure hunt for indie fans who felt underserved by the likes of The Dial of Destiny and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Moreover, it sets itself apart from this decade's increasingly homogenized third-person action games by opting for a classic first-person perspective inspired by the likes of the Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay. If you butt your head against its generally basic stealth systems, cracks will show. But when played as intended, The Great Circle immediately ranks amongst the best Indiana Jones games ever, and its story is closer to Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade than anything that's come after. Some pundits may claim it belongs in a museum, but museums are...
And then they gave it a 9. What do you guys think?
I know. I reckon Tom's going to buy this straight away.
Tom would
Now.
hate it. Tom will hate it.
No, I actually think it looks really good. It kind of looks good. I probably won't play it, but I think it's fine.
Yeah, it looks good. It's not my kind of game, to be honest with you, but it looks like it'd be, like it looks decently made anyway.
Yeah.